Welcome back to the channel, Survivors. Today we're diving back into Aloft, and I'm going to show you guys something that apparently not a lot of people know is a feature in the game, but it is absolutely awesome. So inside of Aloft, not only can you just play the game or join your friends like normal, but you can actually jump over here and a couple of options down, you can see Island Creator. Now, if you go ahead and click on Island Creator, click on Island, from here you can see I've got a couple of different options, but if we go ahead and delete this one, I'm going to create a new one. So we're going to go ahead and name this one Sample as well, because I'm just going to do it for this video. We're going to go ahead and click on Create. Now, from this point, it's going to kind of load you into like this blank world, right? This blank canvas. And if you've never developed before, you've never worked in a dev kit or anything, trust me, I didn't either. I'm only about 3 hours into messing around with this, so don't stress too much. But I'll try to do my best to break down what I've learned so far and show you kind of what my creation is at the end of the video. So stick around for that. When you load in here to the creator, right? There's a couple of different things that you need to keep in mind. So up in the top left, this is going to be your 3 main things, or I want to say items or categories that you can place down. So the first one is going to be platforms, right? If you click on platforms, you click on the brush icon, you've got the selection tool and the brush icon. Click on brush. It'll give you the different folders for the assets, right? So we've got the Emerald Isles, the Fallen Heights, the Red Cliffs, and the Leviathan. These are technically all of the different biomes that are in the game. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the very first one, not to spoil anything for anybody. We've got the Emerald Isles. And from here, you can see a bunch of different options. Now, again, these are just like preset islands that you can grab. So the very first one will start off with this small round. Once you click it, it kind of throws the small round here on the screen, right? Like nothing too fancy, but you know, it's there. It does what it's supposed to do. You can kind of fly around, you know, look at it, do all that stuff. And up in the top left-hand side where we originally clicked the brush tool, if you actually click the selection tool. Now from here, a couple of things. One, you can click on the items, right? So we can click directly on the island that we placed, that little small round. On the left, you can see the direct positioning from the X, Y, Z, in you know, different ways of rotating it. But what's more important is we've got this little handy-dandy tool section up at the top left. So we've got the move option, the rotate option, the scale option, which I haven't had luck actually adjusting. So if somebody knows, let me know down below in the comments. And then we also have the construction snap mode, because you can actually place construction and building pieces, you know, so obviously you want to snap them together, you can turn that on or off. But anyways, so by default, when you click on something, it's already set to the rotate tool, right? That's going to be what you see here. If you click on the little blue lines, you got to kind of like, you know, make sure you finesse your mouse there. But if you get your mouse right to the blue lines or close to it, you can actually rotate it on the plane that it's currently on. So you can see that I can rotate the island if I like one direction or another. And then if I go up to the top left, right next to the rotate tool, and I select the move tool, it will then change it to this, which looks like a little like square box plane in the bottom with a blue little up arrow. If we click the little blue plane, it'll actually give you the ability to physically move that item. So you can see that I can move the island wherever I want, right? It doesn't matter where I want to put it, way out here or closer to my little guy here. I can place it wherever I want. The blue little up arrow is the ability to move that item up or down, right? Pretty self-explanatory, but you know, it's you move it up or down, pretty easy, okay? So now that we got the basic controls down, let's place some more stuff. So in the top left-hand side, once again, if we go to the brush tool here, click on brush, we go to Emerald Isles. Once again, we can place a different piece. So let's do something drastic. Let's do like the, I don't know, the medium pillar, right? Once you click that, it automatically spawns in, which looks really huge, right? But that's okay. Let's go ahead and click back up at the top. Right next to the brush tool, we go to selection. We can actually select the giant pillar. So let's see. All right, looks kind of interesting, right? We're going to click on the blue plane once again to move it. We can see the full shape of it over here to the left. We can decide like, how do we want it? Let's go ahead and just go big or go home, right? So let's place it here. Maybe right there, and then let's pull this up, because I do kind of like this bottom green section, right, that's hanging down at the bottom here of the platform. So let's pull it up just a little bit right there to kind of give it a little bit more character. And there we go. So now we've got kind of like, you know, a little bit of a 2-tier system going on. So now that we've got this all ready to go, let's now go back up to the top. And where we have our platforms, as you can see over here, hit the brush icon, we can go to Emerald Isles, we can place something else that's listed here, or we can actually head over to the next one, which is the foliage. If you go to the foliage, once again, you got 3 different options. You've got the brush tool, which is going to be where we get the folder so we can place our assets, the eraser tool, and then now we actually have a couple of other options. We've got the brush size, so we can adjust the size of the asset that we're placing, and then we can also adjust the density, which then is the minimum distance between multiple items. So if you're placing an item that's like grass, for instance, and there's multiple heads of, blades of grass, it'll shift, the amount that the distance that it places between those items by adjusting this bar. So, Emerald Isles, once again, we can see we've got a couple of different options underneath foliage, right? We've got a bunch of different flowers. So, let's go ahead and do white flowers, and let's go large, right? So, you can see we get a large pack of, white flowers. So, let's go ahead and place those down. We're going to go ahead and just put them about right there. That looks pretty good. And then let's change it. Let's actually stack them because you can stack up more. So, let's do the yellow flowers this time. We'll do a little small little medium pack. There we go, and we'll do another little medium pack over there. So there we go. Now we got some little flowers, which is really cool. And then up at the very top, let's go and move on to the next thing. So let's get out of the foliage and let's head over here to the entity section. I want to show you guys how to place some of those things. Once again, to the brush icon. Now, because we're placing entities, which are going to be like items, everything from, placing a crop on here that you can actually farm yourself by loading in and playing your island, or loading it into a multiplayer world, all the way to building pieces if you want to do that. So anyway, so let's go ahead and jump over here. We got Emerald Isles. Underneath Emerald Isles, we've got our plants, we've got our trees, we've got stones. Let's go ahead and drop a few trees in here. So we can see we've got the chestnut, the oak, and the fir trees to work with. So let's go ahead and jump in here and do, we'll just start off with an adult one. We'll do a great chestnut tree. Let's see how big that sucker is. So looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Let's place it there. And then let's go big and crazy. Let's do like the twinned oak elder tree, right? Because why not? Let's just go ahead and place the elder tree on here. Let's place it there. Looks pretty good. And now let's hop back up to our selection tool up at the top left. And then from here, we can actually grab these items. So once again, we get the same amount of tools. We can actually sink this tree down in if we wanted to, kind of build it into the brick or the stone that we got down here. We can select the rotate tool, which actually gives the ability to pivot. So we can pivot, the tree however we want. And if we grab the other side, we can actually rotate the tree, however whatever we want. And then now let's go ahead and check out some water. So underneath general, once again, underneath the brush options, we've got general. Let's go to water, and we've got a couple of different options here. We've got a plain, which is like a still, section body of water, kind of like what you would consider a pond to be. We've got the waterfalls, which obviously is running water, and then we have the water splashes. Now, the water splash is just an effect that you can put down on the ground, but let's go ahead and start off with one of the water planes. Let's do the small water plane. So you can kind of see it sitting here. It's kind of hard to see in the open because it doesn't really show it in the sky. But to give you an example, let's go ahead and just kind of place it here on the ground so you can kind of see what we're working with here. So if I go ahead and place the water there, you can see there it is. Once again, select the selection tool. We can click on it, click on the move tool, and then it'll allow us to actually bring the water up or down according to like how deep we want it. We can kind of, make it super shallow, or we can make it, an actual, live pond. So there we go. All right, so we've got a little bit of water here, right? Looks kind of square, looks kind of boxy, looks kind of, boring, right? So let's go ahead and finesse it up. So back to the brush section, we're going to go to the Emerald Isles underneath the stones. From here, this is where you can try to place a couple of different stones around it to kind of, create from the box look to more of a circle tone look. So if we go ahead and place a stone here, the program actually will do a good job at rotating the stones for you a little bit. So you can see right there, it kind of already rotated the stone for us if we wanted to go ahead and place this exact same one. But instead, I'm actually going to swap to a different stone. So let's just swap to a different one. I don't like the way this direction is turning, but we're going to go ahead and place it anyways for now, and then we'll actually correct it afterwards. So we'll place a couple of different options here. Let's place, that's not bad. We'll place that there, and then we'll swap over here, maybe place a couple of smaller ones, and we'll go back to a standalone stone. There we go. We'll do something like this maybe. And then we'll might do something like, let's try, what's this tall one? Something like that. Perfect. There we go. Now, once again, going back to the selection stone or selection tool, as I said, I didn't really like the way this one was turning, right? So let's use the rotate tool up here at the top once again, and we're going to kind of grab it, and we're just going to rotate it. I don't want to tilt it. That's tilting. I actually want to rotate it. There we go. So let's keep on rotating it. There we go. Perfect. That's the direction that I wanted to go. And I also think that a couple of these stones are too tall. So let's go ahead and jump to the move section, and let's move it up and down. Once again, I can select this tool or this stone as well, kind of move it wherever I want to move it. Let's grab this one, move this one up a little bit, give it a little bit of depth there. And there you go. Now we got ourselves a little itty-bitty pond. With that being said, let's check out my island. And here we are, guys. This is going to be the island that I worked a lot of time on. Now, this is just going to be my trial island. It's my very first one, so, cut me some slack in the comments. But nevertheless, I just kind of tried playing around with everything and learning what I could for a couple of hours here. So this is going to be the island that I've created. And you can see I've got a bunch of different props, a bunch of different really cool things. I did play around with the rocks here, and these are all individual rocks that I was able to place, which again I think looks super duper cool. You can see all the each individual rocks. You can kind of turn them, adjust them, rotate them, and everything to your fancy. But yeah, I made it look like a hand coming out of the ground, which I thought was super duper cool. I got the waterfall going down into here, and then I even flipped over a couple of props to make it look like a boat, which I thought was pretty neat. You can flip the boat over, even zoom all the way in, get underneath here, place down a little bed, place down some stuff, like if there was like a little survivor on the island or whatnot. But anyways, here, that is going to be my official island build. Like I said before, you can actually upload all of these by hitting the save button up at the top right and then doing the upload option. When you go to upload, you put a title in here. It'll pick a picture for you there from a zoom out, add a description, your tags and everything, and then you can upload them. And then from my understanding, this actually goes to the community page for Steam for you guys to check them out. And then there should be also a way that we can get the island seed. So if you guys want to check out this island, or if you want others to check out your islands, you should be able to do that as well. And there you go, survivors. That wraps up everything you need to know here about the Island Creator. I just wanted to do a video here going over and talking about it because I haven't seen any other creator really diving deep into this, or any videos really on YouTube explaining that this is a feature in Aloft. So if you guys have any questions related to the Island Creator, you can let me know down below in the comments, and I will do my best to answer what I can. I am honestly just learning this just as much as you guys are. I've been playing around with it for approximately maybe 3 to 4 hours so far. So I'm just learning as much as I can, and then hopefully I can share all that information with you. As always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel. And with that being said, as always, I'll see you on the next one.